One thing about peer pressure is that you might not even know that it's happening. That's why this teacher that I had last year, Mr. Carson, always told us to keep our antenna up. You know, pay attention. Like that time Reno asked me to help him out by cheating.
My problem was that I didn't have a plan. That's what I needed that time Sean asked me to break the law.
Last summer, when my friends decided to get drunk on vodka, I didn't stop to think. I almost died.
You can survive peer pressure if you have a plan, like Nando said. If we had known then what we know now, none of that stuff would have happened.
There are some strategies that can help. First of all, learn to recognize peer pressure.
Second, make sure you listen to your inner voice. You know, that voice inside your head that tells you when something isn't right.
Third, it can really help to talk to someone outside the group. Someone else's input can make a difference and help you see what's really going on.
The fourth strategy is to imagine your parents can see you. How would they feel if they could see what you're doing, and how would you feel if they knew?
The fifth strategy is to ask yourself, is it worth the risk? Think about what could happen.
Peers and friends are a really big deal. They help you out when you need help. They're there for you, right? But sometimes they can also be a source of trouble. That's why I tell my students, keep your antenna up. To survive peer pressure, you need to recognize it for what it is.
I just didn't get the concept at first. The whole peer pressure thing just seemed so fake. Then, something happened that changed my thinking.
I'm afraid I'm going to fail that test on Friday.
I have to take it Thursday.
Oh, right, you're taking it early. You got that, chess tournament thing.
If I fail this test on Friday, I'm not going to be able to play on the team. And that means we'll lose.
Hate to agree with him, but his jump shot's been hot lately.
Start studying, man.
Listen to the math brain.
I study.
I study. Is that the best you can do for a friend? Why don't you really help him out?
How?
You're taking the test Thursday. Give him a call Thursday night and give him some pointers.
No way, man. What if I get caught?
You can just tell me what to study for. And maybe one or two problems on the test. Did you get an answer for number 10?
Yeah, look.
If I fail this test, we won't beat Penn Hills next week.
And?
You could help me out, like Ryan said.
What if we get caught?
We won't. Even if Mr. Carson thinks I cheated. He can beg all he wants. I won't tell.
I know, but he could find out some other way.
How? Listen, it's not like I didn't study. It's just really hard for me. And if you ever need my help for anything, you know I'm there.
That really got to me, because I knew if I ever needed his help, he'd be there. You know what I'm saying?
That's called a manipulation. Trying to make you feel guilty for not going along with something. Check it for what it is. Peer pressure. When you recognize manipulation as peer pressure, you've won half the battle. Thanks, Justin. How'd you do?
It was hard.
I'm sure you did pretty well. Listen, before you go, there's something I want you to sign.
Sign?
It's a statement that you promise not to discuss this test with anyone.
I am grateful for the privilege of taking this test early, and I am aware of the trust this implies. As a person of honor and integrity, I promise not to discuss this test with anyone. Signing this meant I couldn't talk to Reno about the test, or else I'd feel like a loser. Hello?
Was it hard?
Yeah.
Were there a lot of algebraic equations?
Yeah.
Help me out, man. Just this once. I'll never ask you again.
I caved in and started telling him stuff, but Mr. C figured it out pretty fast when he saw Reno's test. He knows we're friends, and he knew Reno couldn't have done it without help. When Mr. C asked me, I couldn't look him in the face and lie.
Everyone knows we cheated. We both got an F for the test, and I'm off the team. I felt bad about what I made Justin do, too. I know it brought him down.
If they didn't get caught, it wouldn't have been a big deal, would it? You gotta help a friend when they need it.
What do you think would have happened if Justin had recognized the manipulation, the peer pressure? What if he had listened to his inner voice or talked to someone outside the group? If he had thought, what if my parents could see me now? Or asked himself, is it worth the risk? Think about it. Let's face it, what your friends think and the things they say and do influence you. When you agree with them, everything is cool. But what about when you don't agree? What about when they expect you to go along with something that doesn't seem right to you?
I'm not saying my friends are perfect, but hey, they're my friends, and they don't ever say, do this or do that. They don't really have to. We usually want the same things.
Oh, hey, Katie.
Hey.
I like that shirt. Is it new?
Yeah, I got it last weekend at the mall.
Can I borrow it?
I don't know. I mean, this is the first time I wore it.
Please. I just want to see if I like it.
Well, okay.
Thanks. Bring it in tomorrow.
Yeah.
Nikki was always doing something like that to Katie. At first, I didn't think too much about it because Katie didn't seem to mind. But deep down, I felt funny about it.
Katie's best friend had moved, and she was trying to make friends with us, I guess.
The shirt looks good on you. Yeah, I think so too. Actually, I was thinking, can I buy it from you? I don't think so, Nikki. I really like it too. I'll pay extra. Please.
All right, if it means that much to you.
I'll bring the money in on Friday.
It was hard to watch. My inner voice was telling me to tell Nikki to cut it out, but I didn't listen to it.
Everyone has an inner voice, and it's very important. It will tell you when something isn't right. But Emily didn't listen to hers.
Nikki, do you have the money you owe me for the shirt? Oh, Katie. I'm sorry. I forgot. I can bring it in next week.
I was gonna get myself another one. By next week, they might not have it anymore.
I'm really sorry. I just forgot.
Weeks passed, and Nikki didn't pay Katie the money. Maya and I didn't think it was right, but we didn't know what to do.
This is where you might want to try that third strategy. Take time out and talk to someone outside the group.
Why don't you and Maya just tell Nikki to stop being so mean?
Yeah, I guess.
Like, don't you feel sorry for Katie? Her best friend moves, and she's just trying to make some new friends. It's wrong to treat her like that.
I know. I was thinking I should say something, but what if she gets mad?
If Nikki gets mad, she'll get over it. If you and Maya do it together, she'll get the message. Nikki's your friend. She'll listen to you.
Peer pressure can exist without anything actually being said. When there's something going on in your group that you don't like, it can be hard to know what to do. Taking time out and talking to someone outside the group gives you a chance to see things more clearly and will often support your inner voice.
Yeah, I know some history.
Hey!
Maya and I want you to stop being so mean to Katie. We don't feel right about it.
It's just a joke.
It's not funny anymore. You need to pay her for the shirt.
Oh, all right. I didn't know it was such a big deal. I decided I didn't want to buy it anyway. Oh, okay.
When I see Katie around school, I always wish we had stood up for her sooner. If I had paid attention to my inner voice, things might have been different. Nikki needed to hear it too. And it was such a relief when she stopped being mean like that. But by then it was too late for all of us to be friends. It had gone too far.
If Emily had known how to recognize peer pressure, or had imagined her parents could see her, what might have happened instead?
I used to think that peer pressure was just when a friend wants you to do something you don't want to do. But that's only half the story. Hey, what's up, Nanda? I hate research. I have to write a report on tobacco, and I don't know how to do it. Well, one thing to do is make sure you use stuff that's real, like books or newspapers. Or, you know, like a real source, like a health organization or a government website. Because you can't just go to any site and believe it. I guess. Well, I don't know. Hey, I'll come along and I'll show you some stuff to do. Thanks, man. So Ryan showed me how to do the report, and I got an A. I never got an A on a report before. I told Ryan if he ever needed a favor, I'm his man. Man, I hate that. My batteries died. Don't you have any money? There's a store right there. No. Do you guys? No.
No.
Nando, why don't you go in and get some batteries for me? Steal them? I mean, no way, man. Are you crazy? That's not something I would do. My parents always told me your character is the most important thing in life. I felt the same way. Plus, I was scared.
This is where that fourth strategy comes in. Imagine your parents can see you. If Nando had known about this strategy back then, maybe things would have turned out differently for him.
You won't get caught. If the alarm goes off, just keep walking. They won't pay any attention about it. I've seen my mom do it. Your mom rips things off? No, you idiot. When the alarm goes off, she just keeps walking. She says it happens all the time. I've seen it too. Nada, what do you think?
I know some girls who stole lipstick from that store. Nothing happened to them.
Man, you owe me, remember?
When friends call in a debt like that, it's not fair. There's no way Nando owes it to Ryan to break a law. So, imagine that Nando's parents could see him. What would they think? What would they say? What would they do if they knew?
What do you have in your pocket? Come on. Let me see.
So, what happened to me, I had to go to court. My parents don't trust me anymore. Kids at school talked about me. They all think I'm a thief or something. I felt like a total loser. I wish I'd thought about my parents. Maybe that would have stopped me.
And what about some of those other strategies? What if Nando had recognized the manipulation, the peer pressure? What if he had listened to his inner voice? Or what if he asked himself, is it worth the risk? What do you think?
Now when my friends want me to go along with something that I'm not sure about, I always ask myself, is it worth the risk? Because before last summer, I only looked at the good side, if I looked at all.
What's up, man?
Nate is leaving for leadership camp next week.
That's cool. When do you leave?
Next Wednesday. I'm so excited.
So I'm thinking we need a little end of the year celebration.
Sounds cool.
I say let's meet here Friday after school gets out. Bring some food and stuff, you know, celebrate.
I say we bring charcoal and dogs. Let's have ourselves a barbecue.
I say we bring some beer.
They always do that to impress us. If one guy thinks of a good idea, the other guy has to outdo him.
That's called one-upsmanship, and it's kind of normal. It might just make you sharper or smarter or funnier. It can make the group fun to be with, but it could also cause the group to go too far. When that happens, you may want to ask yourself, is it worth the risk?
There's no way you'd get your hands on any beer.
Yeah, man, how you gonna get beer?
You're probably right, but I can get a bottle of something. What do you guys want? Vodka, gin, whiskey?
Oh, stop.
Are you serious?
Yeah, my uncle owns a liquor store. He pays me to help him back and unpack boxes. I'm going on Thursday.
I'll bring the dogs and charcoal.
I'll bring the chips and cookies. You can hardly taste it.
In that case,
Now you can taste it. So we had our barbecue and pretty soon we were drunk. Sean and Ryan tried to outdo each other. They both ended up puking their guts up. Maybe if I had puked too, I would have been okay. But I passed out.
What's wrong with Nada?
I think she had a little bit too much.
Do you have a phone?
Who you calling?
yeah, who are you calling?
911. Nada's messed up.
No, you can't call 911. We'll all get arrested.
Look at her. People can die like this.
Who gave you the booze? All right. I'll need your names, addresses, and phone numbers to get in contact with your parents. We're taking you in.
No fair, man. We were just playing ball.
Yeah, we'll figure that all out when we get to the station house. We have your name.
Ryan Pelosi. Man, is she gonna be okay?
By the time the ambulance got there, I was totally dehydrated and having seizures. They said if Katie hadn't called when she did, I could have died. I didn't make it to that leadership camping trip. I was grounded for the rest of June, all of July. And my parents? Well, seeing them in the hospital when I woke up, that was the worst. So like I said, now when my friends want to do something that I think might not be a good idea, I ask myself, is the risk worth it? Then I decide.
And what if Nada had talked to someone outside her group? Or imagine her parents could see her. Maybe her summer would have turned out better than it did. Nada, Justin, Emily, Maya, and Nando all recognized peer pressure after the fact. If you can recognize it up front, when it's happening, you've won half the battle. So remember those 5 strategies for dealing with peer pressure.
1. Recognize peer pressure. Recognize manipulation. Keep your antenna up.
2. Consider the effect the group is having on you and listen to your inner voice. It's almost never wrong.
3. Take time out and talk to someone outside the group. Get a clear picture of what's going on.
4. Imagine your parents can see you. Think about what they would say or do if they knew.
5. Ask yourself, is it worth the risk? Think it through. Consider the possible consequences.
Every girl thinks that they have to be better than the other girl.
There's just a constant pressure, I guess, with everybody.
Sometimes they'll say, like, your stomach area is fat. And I'm like, wait, is it?
Teen girls offering surprising details about their struggles.
I see a lot of criticism towards me on social media.
Many adolescents having to confront the daily realities of new age pressures, from cyberbullying to modern dating. In some cases, parents left in the dark. So we brought a group of high schoolers together for an honest conversation about what it's like to be a teen girl today.
But unbeknownst to them, on the other side of this glass will sit their moms right here, listening and learning about their daughters.
Nearly 30% of teen girls suffer from anxiety, and with easy access to technology can come cyberbullying. Nearly half of American teens say they themselves have been victims.
Why didn't you say this to me when I was alive?
Teen pressure is a topic on display earlier this year with the controversial Netflix series 13 Reasons Why.
All of this cyberbullying creates an environment where our kids need to develop resilience and develop it early. And the truth is, that is not the default setting for young people.
As the girls wait,
so we're going to get you guys seated.
Their moms anxious to know what their daughters will reveal when they're not in the room.
She's going to be so mad to know that I'm still here. She's going to be in shock.
How many of you would say stress is a big problem in your lives? What about social media? How big of a part of your lives is social media?
I love social media.
Any of you ever question your body because of what you see on social media?
I've been so focused on just like not eating past 7 and drinking water. Like on Instagram, like I follow people like Kendall Jenner and Kylie Jenner, and they all have this like time measure, like body image that everyone is expecting from this generation. So like I have a lot of self-confidence. Like I don't hate my body, but I always feel that there's room for improvement all the time.
There's no question that social media has a lot of positives, but the problem is we're measuring our self-worth by how many people like what we're posting. There was a time where if someone insulted us growing up, it was to our face. Now, those hurtful commentary lives online.
Do any of you ever feel criticized and hurt by things that are said on social media?
Yes.
What kinds of things might somebody say that's mean?
They could talk about things that you post, things that you wear, things that you say.
I've seen a lot of bullying happen on Snapchat, to be exact, with some of my friends, some people calling them fat, even me, talking about body image.
The honesty about their insecurities tough for Kayla's mom, who's about to share her experience with the group.
A lot of my friends think that I'm anorexic because I'm really skinny for my age, and sometimes it can hurt, but gotta go tough skin.
I used to get bullied in middle school and elementary school because I had a unibrow, I wasn't the skinniest girl.
What about relationships, dating, and guys?
I'm an avid 80s movie fan, and I wish that things could be the way that they were in the 80s movies.
All my instincts. Gone are the days of John Cusack outside your window in Say Anything, replaced by texting and Snapchat, emojis in place of emotion.
What is it that they had in the 80s that you don't see so much now?
Having to actually make effort, and now I think that with things, like sending a message. People say things that they don't mean. Things get lost in translation.
So you want people to talk more?
Yeah.
Usually people just want to like FaceTime and text. You don't know what someone fully says or means.
Our young people speak in emoji and shorthand, and the fact is, relationships require nuanced, thoughtful, intimate conversations, and social media doesn't provide for that.
What celebrities do you compare yourselves to? Do you look up to?
Kardashians.
Oh my gosh, did you have to say that?
Well, Kendall Jenner specifically, like, she's like all natural compared to the others. I feel like she's like so perfect to be like all natural like that, and she's so beautiful.
My biggest influence is Ariana Grande because she has such a good voice, and I find that she is someone to look up to.
If your moms were here, what would you want them to know about your world?
One thing I would like to say to my mom, like in general, is that I may not show it all the time, but I do appreciate her.
That I love her so much for the like self-confidence and being like really my best friend.
Why don't we just talk to your moms now? Because your moms are here.
Hi, Mom.
The girls stunned by our surprise.
What surprised you most about anything you heard from your daughter?
These girls are gorgeous, and they're smart, and they're on top of their, their game, and they're full of anxiety.
Do you worry that she's putting a lot of pressure on herself?
Sometimes I do, because I keep telling her, Lexus, you don't have to be perfect. And she tries very, very hard. With the makeup, hours of makeup. And I'm like, what happens to concealer, foundation, and powder and you walk out the door?
She's very emotional, so she lets things get to her easily, but she's definitely has grown a lot. She's definitely not the shy girl, quiet, reserved girl that she used to be.
Do you worry about that social media impact?
I do, one, because Kayla's brown. She was on the bus, and it was kind of like, why don't you go home? You Arabic, you don't belong here. Then it went on social media.
Moms getting a rare glimpse inside the minds of their teen daughters. Now perhaps more important than ever. For Nightline, I'm Deborah Roberts in New York.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.